The deceased visited the appellant hospital for a medical checkup because of slurred speech and dribbling urine. During his lifetime, he was a diabetic, hypertensive and stricture patient in the appellant hospital. During the medical checks, he was admitted into the urology unit. He later died, and on his death certificate his case of death was respiratory failure and acute renal failure. At the trial court, the appellant was declared guilty of negligence and the respondent was awarded special and general damages. Dissatisfied with the decision, the appellant appealed in Court of Appeal. What is negligence? Ingredients of negligence: liability of hospital for negligence of staff when a medical practitioner is deemed negligent. Nature of negligence. Negligence connotes an omission or failure to do something which a reasonable man under same circumstances would do, or doing something which a reasonable prudent man would not do. Ingredients of negligence. 1. The defendant owed a duty of care. 2. There was a breach of duty. 3. The breach caused the plaintiff injury or damage. A hospital is vicariously liable for the negligent acts or omissions of the whole of its staff. A medical professional should not be found guilty of negligence unless he has done something of which his colleagues would say he really did make a mistake there. He ought to have done it. Negligence is a question of fact, not law, so that each case has to be decided or viewed from its peculiar facts. Issues. 1. Whether the question of improper documentation by appellant was an issue at the trial. 2. Whether the respondent proved the allegations of negligence against the appellant. 3. Whether the award of special and general damages against the appellant was erroneous. In law judgment, the appellant was guilty of negligence for improper documentation. On the issue of medical negligence, it was decided that the appellant was not negligent. On the issue of special and general damage, none was awarded to the respondent. Rationale. According to the court, improper keeping of record qualifies as a particular of negligence. The court on the second issue, the respondent established that the appellant owed a duty of care to the respondent, but failed to establish the breach of duty of care owed, and by default that the breach caused an injury or damage. On the issue of when a medical practitioner is deemed negligent, the court used the famous Bolam test because it would be disastrous to the community if every doctor, instead of examining or treating a patient, would be forever looking over his shoulder to see if someone is coming with a dagger for an action in negligence. In every treatment or surgical operation, there is always risk, no matter the amount of care used. Lastly, the court stated that the respondent failed to prove causation as an element of negligence. As a result, to grant the respondent these damages is not in consonance with law.